I contacted Bigfoot to inform him that I'm going to rewrite his mythology. His response? My reply? Challenge accepted. Welcome to the WBZ Universe, where I will create the next massive sci-fi fantasy universe right here on YouTube. Today I'm extremely excited. I'm doing a deep dive character spotlight on the Yeti named Lux and the planet she hails from, Yeti Prime. Earth has been visited several times by Yeti refugees seeking to escape their pursuers. From Sasquatch to the Abominable Snowmen, Yetis have inspired mythology among almost every region on Earth. Because the Earth's government is not in the Advanced Planet Alliance, the Earth has become a haven for aliens on the run. Yetis go on the lam at high rates because of the nature of their culture on their home planet. To explain this, it's best that we start with the very unique culture and planet called Yeti Prime. Yeti Prime is the entertainment and marketing capital of the APA. Shortly after the Windows began to connect the planets in the APA, so did social media and influence marketing. Various species around the APA competed with each other for attention and celebrity. Various species had decent results at this, but only one species, the Yeti, embodied nearly every trait admired by the other species in the APA. For starters, the Yeti are huge. It wouldn't be surprising if you were suddenly confronted by a bunch of alien species that you hadn't been familiar with before to wish that you were one of the biggest of those species. And they are extremely strong, among the physically strongest in the APA. This gives them advantages in athletics and strength competitions, and they're MVPs among the labor class as well. To become strong through technology or through hard work is one thing, but for even the most common of them at very young ages to be intimidating to their peers is a big advantage socially. This admiration eventually shaped the public consciousness of beauty as well. Similarly to how some cultures would value pale skin as proof that you didn't have to work out in the hot sun, or they would see, thin people as people who couldn't afford food, so they found them less attractive. The Yeti had other advantages in marketing as well. Who better to show off hair care products than a species that's covered in hair and fur? Who better to sell nail polish than a creature with razor-sharp claws? Athletic wear, of course, is a no-brainer. And what better way to show off a deodorant than for a giant hairy beast to walk in a room and not knock you out with their BO? And 4 out of 5 dentists recommend giant Sasquatch teeth for your toothpaste commercials. To show off how invested in marketing they were, they changed their planet name from Tagos to Yeti Prime. In fact, they are the only Yeti planet. There's no reason to call it Yeti Prime other than the implied value it has for their marketing. Having marketing in the bag, they cornered the entertainment industry easily, especially TV and movies in the action-adventure and the horror genres. Yetis make great Hulk-like heroes, and there's literally not one fantasy movie where the hero doesn't have to overcome at least one Yeti villain or monster before the end. This all led to reality television, where the Yeti celebrities would battle with each other to see who could become the Kim Kardashians of the APA. Obsession over the Yeti grew, and so did the public's hunger for these giant furry creatures. So much so that Yeti Prime launched the Portal to fulfill the public's cravings. The Portal is an all-encompassing social media platform that grants you access to these celebrities for 30 days for free, but after the 30 days are up, you have to pay a fee to continue watching them. Overnight, Yeti Prime became the 3rd richest planet in the APA, behind the Valaris and the Occam. Yeti celebrities started becoming more famous for being rich than they had for their other merits. Now that the Yeti sit atop the wealth, beauty, strength, and marketing mountains, life as a Yeti for a huge portion of the Yeti population has become about the hunt for that fame or the ability to get off-world. Being a normal Yeti is fine for some, but being a Yeti among Yeti has no advantages at all. Yeti who live off-world are extremely popular among their peers, and they're admired by their neighbors. Job offers and their pay scales are outrageous compared to what they are at home. And here's why so many common Yeti have gotten into trouble. Going off-world isn't cheap, and brain drain, a lot like it is for some cultures here on Earth, is a real problem. So Yeti Prime decided to make it even more expensive to get off-world. Between hopeful celebrities that try to buy their way into portal fame and common Yetis who simply know life off-world would be better in many ways, a huge loan shark community popped up to fulfill their growing demand for quick cash. A few of these are Yeti natives, but most are not. This is mainly because the Yeti government sees them as a threat to their plans. These loans have incredibly high interest rates, and quite often the borrower disappears after being unable to pay. Sometimes they disappear to a non-sanctioned planet like Earth to hide, and sometimes they disappear more permanently. But this is why these elusive beasts echo through our earthly consciousness. Not only because we've been visited by these big feet, but also because they try to stay off of our radar. And that's because the easiest way for them to get caught would be to cause a stir here and draw the attention of the Advanced Planet Alliance. Sasquatches aren't scared of humans. They could kill us as easily as a polar bear, but they lay low just like anyone on the run would do. They take shelter in caves or wherever they can, and maybe some goats go disappearing in the Himalayas, or a hunter in Montana gets a grainy pick once in a while. Our folklore will forever be shaped by these abominable beasts, but because they're careful, they've managed to stay off the Earth's government's radar. Before I cover the very beautiful Lux, she asked me to ask you to subscribe to my channel for more world building videos like this. I mean, after all, she is a Yeti. Whoa! Lux is not one of those refugees that visited Earth. Quite the opposite, actually. Lux's parents were B-list portal celebrities, but that gave Lux access to not only the portal at an early age, but the training and connections that came with access to the others in that world. Lux landed a hair care commercial at the age of 4 and parlayed that exposure into a portal channel right away. Driven beyond measure, everything Lux did was for that one goal in mind. She wants to be the most famous Yeti in all of the planet. The planet Yeti Prime does pretty much everything through the portal now. Their campaigns, their elections are all decided through votes, and most of the people voting are not Yeti. They're the people from the APA that watch these social media channels. And when Yeti Prime's spot in the Milky Way Academy opened up, they opened up that vote to the portal as well. 100 of the most popular Yetis between the ages of 13 and 18 competed against each other over the course of a year. In the end, Lux gained the most upvotes and was named Yeti Prime's acolyte to the Milky Way Academy. Of course, the majority of the Yeti population wasn't very happy with this, considering their votes were like, dropping a pebble in the ocean. But this is reality for them now. Yeti Prime is social media incarnate, and Lux will be the guardian of Yeti Prime. But don't be fooled by Lux's 7-foot, 300-pound beauty, or the face she puts on to her adoring fans. Lux is one of the most driven students at the Academy. Maybe not for the right reasons, but driven nonetheless. She sees becoming Guardian as the biggest possible springboard for her career, and she will milk every single drop she can out of it. It's an understatement to say that I'm in love with Lux and the world building of Yeti Prime. So many great adventures could come from the Bigfoot refugees that come to planet Earth, for the social media environment on their planet and their hustle for celebrity that could be really unique, as well as, of course, Lux's place in the Milky Way Academy. And then just some specific info on the Yeti without biotech. Yetis have slightly shorter lifespans than humans. This is because their larger bodies just take more to support them. It's thought that they're so large because the oxygen levels on their planet are a bit higher than any of the other planets in the APA. They have 2 layers of cover on their bodies. They have long, luxurious hair, but underneath that they have a layer of fur. And each Yeti expresses their individual personality and their style in different ways by shaving different parts of their bodies in different ways. So some areas they might leave long hair, other areas they'll shave the hair off but leave the fur, and in other areas they'll shave both the hair and the fur off. And they really do have large feet. This is mainly to support their really big bodies, which stop growing around 10 feet tall max around age 35 when they stop growing. Males and females look virtually the same. They're the same height, the same size. Their body shapes are just a little different. And I don't know about you, but when I think of a beast, I think of lacking intelligence usually, but that's definitely not the case for the Yeti. It's pretty obvious with their marketing prowess that they can think at very high levels. And to say that Yetis before social media and after social media are different would be an understatement. They used to never shave any of the hair off their body. They didn't wear clothes. They didn't wear makeup. They didn't care about any of that stuff because they were comparing themselves to each other. And, you know, it was about their culture at that time. Once the social media and they became social media giants, it really became about everyone else's culture and about their reactions to their social media presence. They basically went from Harry and the Henderson to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Thank you, and please click the next video to go further down the rabbit hole.
Top dog, top flow, boss mode, I'm the kingpin, showstopper, top dog, Godfather, I'm the kingpin.